Okay. So good. So, again, just to introduce myself, I'm Dr. Watson. I'm the CEO and principal investigator at Alzheimer's Research and Treatment Center. We have our main headquarters in Wellington, a second office in Stewart. And what we do is we try and discover new medicines to prevent and treat Alzheimer's disease. So this is all that we do, all we focus in on. I've been doing it for 3 decades now. Unfortunately, I've had the misfortune of bearing multiple family members to this disease. So for me, this is a passion of mine to try and treat and find a cure. So all of us, this is really about enjoying our life during the aging process. I've yet to meet someone that, and I'll ask if you want me to, but I've yet to meet someone that says they really want to get Alzheimer's disease. I have a whole lot of people that said, what do I have to do to prevent it? Can I eat more fish? Can I do exercise? Can I do all these things? Wonderful stuff to try. But more importantly, if we have genetic risk factors, we're over the age of 65, just the likelihood just incrementally increases. And unfortunately, this is something that will affect us as we age. So if we all live long enough, we're all going to get it. The question is, where in the process do we get it? Some of us get it earlier than others. So at the age of 80, about 1/3 of us have it in the United States. 85, about 47%. Age 90, about 62%. This is full-blown Alzheimer's. We're not talking about, pre-disease. So what I wanted to tell you about is not Alzheimer's disease, because you guys all know what Alzheimer's disease is, right?
Yep.
I don't need to go through the signs, the symptoms, any of that stuff.
No.
Clear? Okay. Because what I want to talk to you about is give you some hope and some advancements on where we are. So right now, I want to emphasize that we can definitively tell you what type of disease it is. We actually have access to what we call biomarkers. Have you guys ever heard of biomarkers? It's something that gives biological evidence for a disease. So if we can confirm a disease process 100% that you have this, then we know what we're dealing with and how to treat it. Then it helps us develop medications to prevent you from getting worse. So from the standpoint of Alzheimer's disease, we can now 100% identify the disease, but we can also identify the disease about 10 years before it starts. Even though you don't have any symptoms, we can identify it ahead of time by looking at plasma markers, PET scans, CSF fluid. So the PET scans are the big one. It really kind of lights up yes or no and tells us whether or not you have the disease process. So if we can identify it before you have symptoms, much the same way you can identify breast cancer before you have it, right? Or colon cancer, or cardiac disease. You guys get the point? You guys do pre-screenings for colon cancer, breast disease, breast cancer, anything?
Yep.
Yeah, we do all of this. Do you guys do pre-screenings for Alzheimer's disease?
No.
No. No one ever does it. Why? Because previously we never had any way to diagnose it, and we never had any treatment, but also everyone's kind of afraid. They just don't want to know, which I understand. So what I'm telling you is we have access to tests now that can determine 100% if the process has started before you have symptoms. So if we can identify it ahead of time, what are we going to do about it is the whole question, right? So now we have medicines that actually halt the process and prevent a person from getting worse. And they keep the cognition the same. So there is a hallmark protein with Alzheimer's called beta amyloid. It builds in the brain. We see it on the PET scan. We see it 10, 15 years before you have symptoms. If we can see this and we can get it out of the brain, we prevent the disease. So what you guys don't know is we've actually discovered medicines that target the beta amyloid, that remove the beta amyloid from the brain 100% of the time. And as a result, we've changed this course into this course. So now, however long you're going to live, you're going to enjoy the quality of your life, and you're not going to die from Alzheimer's disease. That's where we're at now in this process. We have a group of individuals that we've been testing for about 7 years that are completely stable. Now we've taken these medicines, we proved it in the one trial, and about 3 weeks ago there was a publication where we announced the results of the second trial, and we actually hit all of the primary targets pre-identified and all 6 of the secondary targets. We've never had a study for any indication that literally cleaned the board and hit everything the way it was expected to hit. That's like hitting a grand slam in every single inning of the game. And it's phenomenal with these results where we actually are showing success with Alzheimer's and pre-Alzheimer's. But the best news of this is now we can take what we've learned, we can treat individuals ahead of time if we see that the process has started. So for the first time ever, we have biomarkers, the PET scans, that we can identify ahead of time. And if you have it, then we can use this medicine that we know is safe, well tolerated, and effective before you get Alzheimer's to prevent you from getting it altogether. So for the first time ever, we're actually doing Alzheimer's prevention trials based upon positive identification 100% of the time, and medicines that we know now have shown to work over and over again. So that's the beauty of it. Now, most of the time we determine by doing a PET scan. You guys heard of these PET scans?
Yes.
You think Medicare covers them? It's about $10,000. They don't cover squat. You guys have Medicare?
Yep.
You know what they cover and don't cover, right?
Yep.
The beauty of this in research is, you know who covers it? The pharmaceutical companies. But this is actually your way when you contribute to research. Not only are you helping yourself, you help advance the disease, but there's never any charge for you. So this is kind of your way of kind of sticking it back to the pharmaceutical company in a way, is what I've been told. But it's a way that you don't have to pay for anything. There's no referrals needed. If you come in and establish a baseline and everything is negative, will you have peace of mind? Yeah. But what if we see something? Then, now we can treat it with something and hopefully prevent you from getting Alzheimer's altogether. So that's where we're at and where we've advanced. And in Palm Beach County, through the help of everyone that lives here, ARTC is actually the largest enrolling Alzheimer's center in the entire world, which means we are helping more people in our community than any other office in the entire world. And that is, definitely directly related to you guys coming out, educating yourself, and then being proactive, because Alzheimer's disease is something that is curable, and we are really on the precipice of finding a cure. How many of you get a baseline cognitive evaluation every year from your physician, which by law they're supposed to do? How many of you actually get that? One in this entire theater. Just to let you know, every year you should be getting a cognitive assessment to make sure you don't need a further workup. This is something we offer completely for free. You spend 90 minutes of your time. Why 90 minutes? We actually like to listen to you. We actually like to test your memory. We actually like to review your medical history, your medications. So I would encourage you to come in. Did you guys fill out one of those cards? Okay, that's 2 reasons. That's one, so Rochelle knows how many people came in, right? So I pay her appropriately. And the second thing is to make sure that our staff will give you a call. And if you want to come in for a free evaluation, then just say yes. You spend a little time, you come in, have a cup of coffee, meet with a member of our medical team, we give you a brief memory test, and if we can prevent something in you and prevent Alzheimer's disease, because law of averages tell me that there's probably about 5 or 6 of you in this room right now, and you're welcome to look around, that have a positive PET scan and don't know it. So if there's something I can do to prevent you from getting Alzheimer's disease, which you guys know what Alzheimer's is, why wouldn't we try? Why wouldn't we be proactive? So I'm here to educate you that we can determine the disease now, and we have medicines that can make a difference. So I would encourage you to get a workup and just see where we're at. And if you want to do the PET scans, fine. If you don't, fine. We're not pushing anything. I just want you to be educated and let you know from Alzheimer's disease standpoint, we've advanced now that we can really make a difference and treat this much the way we can many diseases that we thought were incurable, but now that are getting to the point of curable and preventable. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you, have a great time watching this movie because it is about quality of life. I didn't want to take too much of your time, so enjoy, the rest of your afternoon as well. Enjoy the movie. We will be out there to answer some questions afterwards, but just remind you guys to turn off your phones and stuff and just enjoy the movie. Okay, thank you. Have a great day.